Have I given you the impression that any of this is optional?
What do you want with my family?
You just keep doing everything I tell you to do.
What are you not telling me?
Stay away from my family.
Get him. That's not how this is gonna play out.
The January of top tier shows continues. It's Lamont Tyson Life Gains channel. Doing my Your Honor season 2, episode 1 review. One of the best shows going. They said this is going to be the last season. I hope not. It might be, because last season was supposed to be the last season, but because of popular demand, it came back and they got off to a rocking start. Let's dive on into this thing, man. If having babies by a dead person is what you like, if crazy crime bosses with superior acting is what you like, if Bryan Cranston is what you like, you're going to get a heavy dose of all that in this episode. Please subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I communicate with people there pretty heavy. And also download the podcast. This will be up on the podcast. I put everything I do on YouTube on the podcast. So we're picking up back with the judge who is now in jail, ladies and gentlemen. So they did do somewhat of a time jump, about a year time jump, and they go back to what happened from last season. And early on, you see that the judge is in jail, and it's safe to say he's in jail because he was caught colluding with the Baxter family to nigger rig that trial so that Carlo, fake-ass Mark Wahlberg Baxter, could get out of jail. And he is so depressed. He is so damn just downtrodden that he's not eating. And they are bringing his ass in here to tie him to the chair. And they're going to put an NG tube in him and feed him some damn Ensure. Now, I've been in the hospital. I've worked as an RT. I've never drank Ensure, but I smelled it, and it smells nasty as hell. And they did a real good depiction of listening to make sure that they got the tube in the stomach and everything. You did a good job, cast and crew. I admire you for doing that, because sometimes us folks that work in the hospital, we get mad when y'all do the shit wrong. Then we flash back to Eugene. The moment that everything happened, Eugene is running away from the crime scene, being followed by none other than Carlo, the bum-ass Mark Wahlberg wannabe, who, of course, you know, is a fuck-up and didn't find him. Eugene gets away. And then we see Fia, who loved Adam, is in shock. Blood from Adam is all on her face. Her parents lay her down and try to comfort her. And this is a situation where we have the dad is way closer to the daughter than the mom is. And I think a lot of y'all swear up and down that most situations, the little girls, the firstborn little girls, are daddy's girls. And we see a building and a bonding of their relationship through this whole thing. There's going to be a scene in here where dad and Fia are out by the riverside, and she's just talking to dad about how crooked mom and Carlo is and the wrong things that this family is doing, considering what they did to Eugene's family. And she understands what happens. So her character is a great wild card in this story, and I can't wait to see where they go with that. Then we have the Baxters assuming that this hit that was supposed to be on Carlo was done by Desire, and that was completely wrong. Desire didn't do this. This was an act by Eugene himself, who wanted revenge. And so the Baxters called their police contacts, and then they go and raid Rudy's crib looking for Eugene. And of course, Rudy and them ain't got him because Eugene acted on his own. That preempts Big Mo, who is an outstanding character on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about it. This cannot be the last season. Big Mo is a very complex character down in New Orleans. Female boss-ass lady going toe-to-toe with one of these Italian mob bosses. And I love the way she's handling her business, man. Can we not let this be the last season? But she calls Jimmy Baxter to tell him, you know, what are you supposed to do with these young, out-of-control men, okay? I didn't tell that man to do it. And, of course, Jimmy's like, well, you ain't got no control over your soldiers. Blah, 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 blah. And she's just like, look, I done told you what it is. I didn't send a hit take it as you will, yada, yada, yada. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we get Michael Desiano meeting up with the bad as hell Olivia, U.S. attorney, who has big plans for Michael. See, she wants Michael to work for her to take down the Baxter family. She don't care about a judge being crooked. She don't care about that shit. And the reason why she don't care is because the judge was crooked to help the Baxter family. So not only can the judge get some retribution for helping her, but he can possibly help clear his own damn good name because the people he helped basically blackmailed him. And she's going to be able to help prove that. But of course, in his state of distortion, mental agony, he's like, nah, not working with you either. I done told the site person I'm not working with him, and I definitely ain't working with you because I just want to die. This whole episode, they kept showing you kind of how Michael wanted to die, and we're going to get to him actually trying to commit suicide via a 1-ton ass black bull in a minute. We get a scene, ladies and gentlemen, with the Baxter mama. Now, this Baxter mama has an Oedipus complex. Look at the way this Baxter mama is hugging her son in this episode. She hugging on him like she's the lover, like she wants to fuck her own damn son. My goodness, lady. Now, these two are clear fuck-ups. It's because of these two we in the situation we in the first place. She's the one running around here telling her son to go do these side missions that's costing the family issues, causing this family major issues. She's the one that's basically egging him on to go after Eugene, you know? So I don't have no love for either one of these characters. These two characters are my least favorite characters because they just get on my nerves, and I want something bad to happen to the mama, and I especially want to see Carlo Baxter die. Then we see Nancy in the room with a judge listening to a confession from Michael Desiano, who used to be her good friend. Let us not forget that dynamic. Michael used to be her good friend, and now you sitting here having to learn that your good friend was basically lying to you, lying to the police, and got other people involved. And so she's in here talking to these judges to get his ass in trouble when Olivia pops in drinking and eating and saying, nope, any confession you have, you need to lock and seal it up because I have special plans for Michael Desiano to take down the Baxter family. And Nancy seems like she's like, nah, man, I don't want to hear that. I want his ass to go to jail for what he did. But if Olivia could plain English explain to Nancy how this would be the greater good for everyone, it would help. But I'm sure as Olivia being a U.S. attorney and coming into a situation she's not used to being in, she don't know who the hell to trust. I do believe Nancy will be on the side of Olivia when the grand plan comes out. Post your comments and let me know what you think about if Nancy will be down to help Michael and Olivia. Carlo dumbass, following the orders of his mama, go down to the hood thinking he's going to get some information from the black folks and find Eugene. And what do? They pick his fake ass Marky Mark Wahlberg ass up, take him to Big Mo, who hold his ass hostage. But at the same time, Big Mo gets her crew and Rudy to find Eugene. They throw Eugene in a storage facility. The whole time I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, Eugene looks a little soft Rudy looks a little soft on Eugene. Probably because Rudy feels like a lot of why Kofi died and some of the issues with Eugene's family is because of him. Remember, Rudy's the one that sent Kofi to do some of these biddings and got Kofi dead. Don't forget about that. And he probably has a sweet spot for Little Man, but I kind of think Big Mo, in order to circumvent a war, probably wants to give him up. But we'll talk about that once we get close to the end of the thing. But in any event, she now has Carlo Baxter, and she's going to use his ass as a bargaining chip to the daddy to be like, look, bruh, the same thing you told me about not being able to control my men, my young men, I got your young man who has a little dick, and you know how these young men with little dicks behave. They do little dick shit. And that's what she basically tells Jimmy when she calls him, call this stuff off, we even Steven, this is it. And then you got to sit there and listen to that mama talking about retaliation. And he's like, Jimmy's like, this was retaliation. Sit your ass down, keep eating up all the macaroni that I'm providing for you and stop trying to get into the lives of these gangsters. That mama need to sit her ass down somewhere. She gonna get somebody killed. Then Phil, ladies and gentlemen, visits Michael. And I'm sitting here talking to Crystal. I'm like, Crystal, why would she want to visit Michael's dad? Michael's dead. Why is she visiting the daddy? What reason would she have to visit the daddy? But for only one reason. Her ass is pregnant. And so we get in there. We want to hear what she's got to say. And she comes in there to Michael, and she's got a handful of about 12 letters. I counted them. So they're time jumping a year out, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind. And she just basically wants to know if Michael loved her or not. And, you know, we're thinking, okay, that's all she wants. I'm like, no, that's not deep enough. Why do you need to know if Michael loved you or not? He's dead. There's got to be something else anchoring that emotion, that feeling, that need to want to know if he loved her. And basically, Michael Desiano said, Adam, if he told you he loved you because he's not a liar. And so they ended it with that. But I knew it was more to it, and we'll get there in a minute. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the real bullshit of this whole episode. Something that I didn't know that this show has highlighted for the world to see. And I hope someone who loves PETA is watching and is going to call PETA to really get a movement started against this bull jive. So there is about to be a prison rodeo, a convict poker rodeo in which the bull basically pick who wins the damn poker tournament, because the bull just going to randomly run Negroes over. And yes, I said Negroes because that's the majority of what's in prison. And whoever's left standing, you win the poker tournament for a couple of $100. Now, for those of you wondering if this shit is real because they named the bull on this episode Malachi, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this 2-minute video. This shit is as real as Al Sharpton's hair is a grease slick. Take a look.
Well, for some, the Angola prison rodeo is a tradition, and for more than 5 decades now, people have marked off each Sunday in October to attend that rodeo.
Over the next few weeks, we'll be taking a deeper look into the rodeo and how it impacts not only inmates, but the community as a whole. Tonight, our Justice Henderson takes us behind the scenes and introduces us to the inmates who make the rodeo possible.
When you roll into the month of October in Louisiana, that's kind of synonymous with Angola Prison Rodeo.
And it's the inmates who make it all possible.
And bareback riding a bull, convict poker, and Gus and Glory.
Today I got wild horse race, wild cow milking, bulldogging, and Guts and Glory.
This is our 53rd year of rodeo here in Louisiana, and it is a Louisiana tradition.
But the inmates who volunteer say it's more than a rodeo.
Gus and Glory give me a thrill. It's just you standing there while the bull coming, don't know which one to hit. It's amazing.
Despite criticism and even an online petition to end the rodeo, inmates say they want to participate because the hundreds of dollars they can win makes the thrill much more worthwhile.
When I win or I place in the events, I win a certain amount of money. That way I won't have to depend on asking my family for nothing.
Some inmates are new to the rodeo and others have been doing it 10+ years, but it all comes down to behavior.
So it's a behavioral modification tool basically, because if your conduct is good, and one of the things that we do is it's voluntary to participate in the rodeo. You have to have a good conduct record, and you have to have a good duty status, or you can't have any medical concern.
Did y'all hear what that white guy said? The white guy is in there trying to interpret how black prisoners like this shit. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm imprisoned by someone, I'm probably going to want to get out for a little sunshine for anything. But like, dude, you're making these dudes look like clowns. You are literally putting their lives in danger and trying to pass it off as you doing the right thing because you're letting them win some fucking money. Stop this. PETA, ACLU, Southern Christian Leadership Coalition, anybody dealing in the South, you need to get a handle on this shit, man, because this is inhumane, okay? I'm sorry. And I know some of you country-ass Anglos in the South that love this type of shit. It's just like, oh, you liberal hick, blah, blah, blah. Imagine if this was happening to your people, okay? Like, just stop it. And the prisoners trying to say they like it. If you are incarcerated, you're in jail all the time, any little thing that gets you out, you're going to want to do it, even if it puts your life in danger. This is putting their lives in danger, and this shit needs to stop. But long story short, the bull rams Michael, who wants to die. The main thing we need to understand from this scene is Michael wanted to die and he didn't die. The bull didn't kill him and he survived. Post your comments, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't believe that this is still going on in 2023. It is. Then we get, ladies and gentlemen, the mom and the son, the two dummies, are still trying to collude with each other to make dumb decisions against Big Mo and Desire. And the daddy's like, look, y'all, cooler heads need to prevail. You two need to sit your dumb asses down. And look at this picture of them, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg in the cover of Darkness, in the cover of Sickness, in the cover of Incompetence, these two. And I'm just sitting back waiting to enjoy the whole season of these two dummies fucking stuff up, getting themselves in trouble. We get to Eugene and Rudy. And this was the moment we was all waiting to see what was going to happen. Would Rudy really kill Eugene? And the answer is no. He gives Eugene some money, puts his ass on a bus, and gives him an address similar to what we seen in Power when our guy from Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, let this guy go and tried to help him because he wanted to start turning over a new leaf. Dude, don't even get on the bus. Next thing you know, they had to kill him for real. Ladies and gentlemen, I do feel like Rudy got on the bus and he rode away. But Rudy's going to come back because Rudy know he didn't kill the person that destroyed his whole family. Now, you got to think the position Rudy is in, Eugene is in, feeling that, maybe I got all this money and whatnot. I'm going to an address. I don't know who's there. Why leave when the job is not done? You guys killed my whole entire family. The whole family. He's going to come back. He's going to pose another threat to everybody that was involved in this situation, from the cops to the mayor to Big Mo and Desire to Baxter and his crew. Eugene is definitely coming back. This is not the last of Eugene. And then we see Big Mo meet up with Chuck and the crooked ass cop. The crooked cop thought that Mo was going to be bringing Eugene with her. And Eugene gets the call from Rudy that somehow or another he slipped away. She's upset. And Charlie, the mayor-to-be, is upset, thinking that, okay, you don't got him. There ain't nothing else for us to talk about. And Big Mo had to shake his ass down like Gregory Abbott and let him know that, look, we all can get what we want. Y'all just dig up another body. I got Eugene's cell phone, pretend like it's Eugene, and we all good. And the crooked cop is sitting there like, how am I supposed to do that? And I love Big Mo's response. Big Mo is still in the show. She was like, y'all been doing it. Find me another damn body. As if you can't find a body. You all the time finding bodies when you need to find one. Find another body. Cover this up. You get to be a hero. And the mayor gets to pretend and act like, the mayor-to-be gets to pretend and act like he's controlling crime. Sound like a plan to me. Sound like Big Mo need to run for mayor. Fuck Chuck. Big Mo, you need to go run for mayor and you might can get that city under control. And then we get Olivia. Decides she's going to threaten Michael to get him to help her with the Baxter family because she's got the tape of him saying that Charlie, his best friend, Charlie Figaro, running for mayor, helped get rid of the vehicle that hit the Baxter son originally. And she tells him, you need to sleep on that. If you ain't going to do it for me, if you ain't going to do it for yourself, you ain't going to do it for the memory of your son, at least do it for your best friend who still has one life to live. He's living it right now. And if you don't help me, his ass will not be mayor. This Olivia is devious. She's dangerous. And she might need to watch her back for getting killed herself, ladies and gentlemen. Post your comments on what you think is going to happen with Olivia. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we catch the cop going to the coroner. Another crooked-ass paid person, ladies and gentlemen. This goes on in society left and right. People is paid to do criminal acts left and right. The cop is paying the coroner to have a body that looks nothing like Eugene, pretend and put a bullet shot in his head to say that they got him, and he's giving him the gun and a whole lot of cash to make this thing happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The cop done found his body. You know this is not going to work out. This is never going to work because now you got another person that is paid that is involved in a criminal act who liable to run his damn mouth. The coroner ain't probably never been in no tough situation. The coroner's going to have to either die or he's going to be a witness for someone. Post your comments if you think that's going to happen. Then, ladies and gentlemen, the big reveal that I already seen coming. Fia had a baby, and it was Adam's baby. And boy, I said to my wife, the best thing that happened on this show is let Fia get pregnant because that's going to create so many storylines. Because now, how is the Baxter mama going to behave? Is this going to chill her ass down? You got a grandson to take care of. This is going to cause tension and more escalations with the Baxter family and Michael Desiano because now you actually have flesh and blood with the family that is the enemy. But at the end of the day, the person who's spearheading everything in the way that this story can go is definitely Fia. And I do believe Fia wants to do the right thing. She's sick of the way her family has been behaving. And she might wind up helping Michael, who might can in the end ride off in the sunset and be a granddad to his grandson. And maybe Fia will go ahead and put the mom in jail, somehow let the dad get off and ride off in the sunset too. Post your comments on how you think that's going to work out. And in the very end, Michael decides to take the deal Olivia offered him, and she's going to work with him to put the Baxters in jail. And he's answering the phone call from Olivia because now she is his puppet master. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a good 10 weeks coming up. Buckle on down. Get ready for these weekend reviews and everything that's going to happen. Crystal will be back next week. She just couldn't make it this week. And so post me all your comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And also download the podcast and continue to check me out as I go live. And normally we're going to go live with this show on Sunday afternoons around 4 or 5 o'clock. But until then, I'm going live tomorrow for Godfather of Harlem, 9 p.m. on Monday. And then The Last of Us, 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Till that next Sexy as Hell video, I'll see you.